field trip with 4th grade. It was to the Lenape village
I do that.
at Churchville Nature Center. I loved this trip. So, some of you who have done this trip will know exactly what I'm talking about. You go there, and there's these people dressed up as Native Americans, and they're like, Wanishi! That's Lenape for hello! And they're like, we're going to take you and your group through our village 500 years ago. I'm like, wow, you look really good for 500 years. Anyway, so, and you're going to learn about fire making, and you're going to learn about making fiber out of rope or out of plants. And you're going to learn about how they built their wigwam. And you're going to learn all this stuff. You know, like, cool, okay. So I had my little group, and we're going along, and they're teaching us about, you know, how they grew corn and the 3 sisters, and, you know, all this stuff. And there was this one boy in the 4th grade. He was the smallest kid, really, really tiny. And his name was Luano. And we come to the fire making station, and they have this circle of stumps, tree stumps that you're supposed to sit on. And everyone, for some reason, doesn't sit next to me. I don't know, maybe my breath was bad that day. But anyway, so they're all sitting like across, but Luano sits right next to me. And as I say, he's a really tiny, tiny kid. So Luano sits next to me, and I go to sit down. This stump is like really low. So this involves a bit of maneuvering. I'm like, okay, we're getting down there. Okay, we're getting down a little lower. All right. You know, this is like trying to sit in the kindergarten with their tiny little chairs. You know, all right, man. I don't know if my butt's touching it yet. Let's. And I go to sit on this thing, and
you sit on one.
It is not stable. It is not balanced, and I fall over on Luano, right on top of Luano. And I am on my back. I am like a turtle on its back, okay? And I can't get up. Luano is being crushed underneath me. And all you see are these little hands coming out of my side, and this muffled cry, and this little leg like twitching out, like, and I'm like, he's like, get up, and I'm like, I can't, and no one's helping me. Everyone's laughing. They're over on the other side cracking up, and poor Luana's like, yeah! So I'm like, okay, let me try to roll off of you. So I start rolling to the left, and I like crush that side. It's like, no! And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to the right now. I start rolling. No! It was kind of like a rolling pin rolling out like pizza dough sort of thing, if you can imagine. And he's just getting like totally squished. And you just hear this muffled cry, it's twitching hands and twitching leg like this. Finally, an adult comes over, and they give me their hand, and they pull me off, because I couldn't get up. I was like, there was nothing I could like get a hold of. And there's Luano, and he's like all like deflated. He looks like a deflated ball, you know. And it's like, you saw on me! And I say to the class, I say, look, what happens at Lenape Village stays at Lenape Village. But of course it didn't, because as soon as lunchtime came, all the groups converged back towards the buses to have lunch. And one of them, did you hear Mr. Emmons crush Luano? and of course they're telling us, so this gets all through the school. And Luano will not look at me. Like he will, I didn't do this purposely, but he would give me this evil death stare, and he'd be like, you crushed me. He would progress up to JW, or what used to be JW, now it's what, Princeton Unified Community Middle School, or whatever it's called. Anyway, so he would get up there, and I would have business over there. I have to meet with the teachers over there or whatever. And I would see Luano in the hallway, and he would still hold this resentment. Again, he would be, you crushed me! Like that. I mean, the other kids would be, hi, Mr. Abby. And he would be like, you crushed me! I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. that by far is probably the worst thing.
So you quit?
No, I didn't quit. However, all right, so just a little bit of my craziness, my craziness that I was known for, but it was fun. I really enjoyed working there, and I must say we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of cool things.